to be unraveling this mystery.
I'll follow you from here on out.
The Switch 2 has been out for almost a year now, and half the gaming sites out there still write about it like it's just a Switch with a different charger. But honestly, the lineup coming out over the next few months is shaping up to be one of the strongest stretches in Nintendo's entire history. Nintendo finally took the leap on a spin-off, the first one in the franchise's 11-year history. Splatoon Raiders drops you onto the Spiralite Islands as a mechanic hired by the Deep Cut trio, Shiver, Fry, and Big Man. No 4 versus 4 multiplayer here. This is a story-driven single-player adventure built around action and exploration, with Samanids as the main enemy faction that's taken over the islands. The April 2026 trailer showed a weapon upgrade system, character customization, and mechanical gadgets that make the whole thing feel noticeably different from the mainline series. Co-op is in there too, up to 4 players locally or online, with difficulty adjusting to how many people are in the session. The game supports HDR, which is a first for the series, and it's a Switch 2 exclusive. Original Switch owners are out of luck. From Software is making a Nintendo handheld exclusive. If that took a second to process, fair, same here. Hidetaka Miyazaki is directing the Duskbloods, a dark fantasy PvPvE action game for up to 8 players, where everyone controls one of the Bloodsworn, vampire-esque creatures with unique weapons, abilities, and roles. The world runs on the idea that the moon tears will flow for one and one alone, meaning your allies can turn on you at any moment. And that's not a bug, that's the whole point. Solo game fans at the studio are understandably uneasy. This is the second multiplayer-focused project in a row after Elden Ring Night Rain, and a chunk of the audience is watching that trend with some concern. Miyazaki has said the studio isn't abandoning single-player games, but the Duskbloods is very much an online title. No getting around it. This one hit PC back in September 2023 and has since pulled in over 31,000 Steam reviews with a 94% positive rating. Overwhelmingly positive. For an indie RPG from a small Shanghai studio called the Swordman Studio, that's a genuinely impressive track record. Wandering Sword is a pixel wuxia RPG where a young swordsman barely surviving a brutal ambush sets off to master martial arts and carve his path through a world that feels straight out of a classic Chinese adventure novel. The combat runs on a tactical tile-based grid, and you can switch between turn-based commands and real-time action mid-fight without breaking the flow. The story branches into 20 different endings, and you can recruit characters from the world around you.
Men believe they are made of stone and ice, but they are together. Trust will demand sacrifice. To save one.
Here's the pitch. A mountain climbing roguelike where your entire party is physically connected by a rope, and every decision costs something. Anchor the line, pull a teammate back from the edge, or take the riskier route and hope the shortcut doesn't kill everyone. If someone dies, they take their resources and the group's morale with them, and the psychological weight of that loss makes the climb ahead harder. Oh, and there are Lovecraftian creatures living inside the mountain, so this isn't just expedition management. It gets genuinely unpleasant. Developer Ludogram, published by Twin Sails Interactive, has confirmed a Steam Early Access launch in Q3 2026, with a later release on consoles, but they never said which consoles specifically.
Will test what you are willing to give.
Humanity has always hunted for knowledge in the air because we're committed to the biggest question of all.
Bethesda and Nintendo. After Skyrim showed up on everything including smart fridges, nothing feels impossible anymore. Starfield for Switch 2 is not officially announced, but in April 2026, the Taiwan Ratings Board filed a Switch 2 listing for the game, and those databases don't usually add platforms for decoration. Jez Corden from Windows Central and Nate the Hate both independently reported the port is in development. That said, insider Shinobi 602 warned back in early 2026 that the process hasn't been a smooth one, and that the Switch 2 version might not even come out at all. There's additional reason for concern in what already happened. The PS5 version launched to mixed reception and suffered from real technical problems. Crashes, performance issues, the works. Starfield is a massive open-world game on an engine that was never designed for compact hardware.
Will change humanity forever.
Decaying world, one can only wonder how, for power, consumed the brains of the living.
Drinkbox Studios made Guacamelee and Nobody Saves the World. Both have their audiences and both are remembered fondly. Blighted is the studio's first 3D game, and noticeably darker than anything they've done before. The setup: a villain named Sorcisto destroyed a village and infected the world with a deadly blight, leaving one survivor to seek revenge armed with a scythe. The core mechanic is that the blight itself acts as a dynamic difficulty system. The more enemies you kill, the more it accumulates, changing enemy behavior, unlocking hidden paths, and constantly piling pressure on the player. Play aggressively and the world gets more dangerous around you. It's a Metroidvania with a clear Souls influence in the combat, but presented in Drinkbox's signature style: vivid colors, surreal environments, and genuinely strange characters. The original Moonlighter in 2018 worked because the idea was so simple and satisfying. Run a shop by day, raid dungeons by night, sell what you find, repeat. Digital Sun and 11-Bit Studios are back with a sequel that goes fully 3D. The isometric perspective stayed, but it's a different visual league. Will is once again broke and stranded somewhere new, rebuilding from scratch, shop management, dungeon diving, selling loot to reinvest in the village. The relic system deepens things. Each artifact you pull from a dungeon gives combat bonuses, and stacking the right combination in your backpack triggers extra effects. The game has been in early access on PC and Xbox for several months now, and the response has been solid enough. The Switch 2 version will be the full release, no early access phase, all content from day one. There's one developer on this, Rafael Martin, published by Apogee Entertainment. Solo-made games tend to have a different feel to them, and based on what's been shown, Littlelands seems like exactly that. It's a cozy adventure set in a peculiar little region full of odd residents and hidden secrets. Start simple. Visit Grandma, fix a broken computer. Then it keeps pulling at threads, chasing mysteries, helping locals with their problems, fishing, growing berries, digging up buried treasure, and somewhere further out, zones that push back for players who got too comfortable. No specific release date has been given, though Switch 2 and PC in 2026 is confirmed in the broadest sense. The game will probably get buried between bigger fall announcements. That would be a shame.
By the grace of God, the King of France.
The first major console Castlevania in 12 years, and Konami appears to actually mean it this time. Belmont's Curse is a 2D Metroidvania set in Paris, 1499, 23 years after the events of Castlevania 3. Evil Empire, the studio that kept Dead Cells alive and excellent for years, built this one, with advisory support from Motion Twin. The female Belmont protagonist fights with a vampire killer whip, which now doubles as a movement tool. She can swing from anchor points like a trapeze artist, which opens up a different kind of mobility than older entries. The April trailer revealed Joan of Arc as a boss fight, which hints at a story that's doing something genuinely interesting with the setting. The art style has split people. Some fans find it too bright and cartoony for the franchise. Others just want a new Castlevania and will take it however it comes. One thing to be clear about, there is no Switch 2 version. Dodge Roll went quiet for a few years and now there's a sequel. The first thing you notice, it's fully 3D now. The pixel art is gone, the Gungeon renders in full volume, enemies react to physics and you can knock them into pits or launch them into the air. Everything else is still the same chaotic bullet hell roguelike. Dodge hundreds of projectiles, hoard weapons, die, try again. Familiar locations are back alongside new ones. The roster of Gungeoneers has expanded.